rain and everything else, moving back to the doubleheader, really all weekend we just pitched very poorly with 2 outs. That was the whole thing of the weekend, just not being able to get off the field with 2 outs. They did a good job. I give them credit of not going away with 2 outs. We did a poor job of pitching really with 2 outs and not getting off the field. So many of their runs came with 2 outs. So we've got to get better there and handle up on that. I thought our hitters did a great job, and the team did a great job of not just wilting and dying in Game 2, being able to come back and at least punch back and fight back. They've responded pretty good all season. So I was proud that they were able to do that, proud of where we were last year compared to where we at this year, and being able to play in a meaningless weekend, second to last weekend of the season, instead of just fighting to try to get in your conference tournament, but fighting to actually win the league. I think if we pitched better, I think we could have won 2 out of 3 for sure, but we didn't, and we ended up winning 1, so now we got to move on. This weekend we'll be playing a team that's really, I think, mathematically out of the conference tournament, so we're going to have to work to try to get on top early and break their will to continue to play, simply because they're not playing for a whole lot. So that can sometimes be a dangerous team to deal with. We really have to focus on us, not them, and continue to swing the bat like we have. We played very good defense throughout the weekend. Continue to play good defense and just really sure ourselves up with 2 outs and being able to get off the field when it's time to get off the field. I think that was the whole issue this weekend. Open up the floor for questions you might have.
What did that last week do for confidence for your kids in case they need something again next week?
Well, we were glad that we responded, and came back and not just went ahead and cashed it in because we couldn't win 2 out of 3. So that was a good thing. This team has responded pretty well all year when their backs have gotten to the wall. So I think that helped us. And again, I just think if we make some better pitches, get off the field with 2 outs, I don't think we fight just to win 1 game. I think we won that series. So, but it was good to see us fight, especially in a doubleheader like that, in a long day, and also get behind early in the first inning. And then Ben Frith coming in and doing a great job. We had gotten him up, and he was going to be due up no matter what. We felt that we dropping down would hopefully maybe give him some trouble. I got to give them credit. Everything they hit all weekend. Found a hole, fell in. They swung the bat really well all weekend. We just didn't do a good enough job of getting off the field with 2 outs. I think if we could have done a better job there, I think we'd get the score a lot closer and the game's winnable. But that game was good for us. It was good for the team. It's what I said all year. I thought we'd score runs. I just think we'll go as far as we can pitch.
With Carter's outing, is it getting to the point of maybe frustration with the Sunday starter? You're not getting the consistency you want as far as a guy that can really kind of take the reins of it?
Well, it's not really frustration because as coaches, we knew at the start of the season that would be a tough thing. It's one of those things you wish could have developed by now, but I just think it's going to have to be a work in progress in the sense that somebody's going to have to just come out on the day that we match up. We're probably going to go match up anyway, the 3rd game. So because of that, we can pull Cody Smith out. I mean, Frith's a candidate now. Ben can come back out. I'm not going to ditch Ben over just 1 bad outing. Those guys swung the bat well all weekend. It was a very good baseball team, 2016 in the country. So, it is what it is. We as coaches, and as we told our hitters, the whole story about, when the house starts on fire, you don't call the fire department and they hang up on you because they didn't start the fire, so they're not going to put it out. It is what it is. I think our hitters understand that just as well as last year. We didn't have fights in the dugout because we didn't score runs. We were trying to outpitch people. It is what it is. Last year we just tried to pitch as good as we could because we knew we weren't going to score a lot of runs. Here, we know we have to score some runs. That's for sure. And 2, going into the 3rd game is probably going to be a matchup anyway. From here on in, if they're full of lefties, we can maybe start a lefty. It doesn't have to be Ben. If they've got some righties, we can come back with Ben. We haven't given up on Plitt either. So, it's one of those things that all fall we knew we saw inconsistencies. Our Friday night guy is just a sophomore. So we we knew that's where we would probably have the inconsistencies, and what we got to do is just hang on and hope that people like Ben Frith, when their number's called, can get in there and keep the score down, because if we can do that, take the duress off the hitters, they're going to score some runs.
And that being said, you mentioned Frith. You talked last week about the bullpen you felt was strengthening with Ryan and with Matt. Cord had a good outing. Having Frith, how encouraging is that? Just having two more arms that had a good outing and can really start to provide some more depth.
Well, real good, because it gives us choices, you know, because some of these teams got good left-handed hitting. And so it gives us an opportunity to where we can match up towards the end of the game now and not have to have, say, Hitch just face some lefties. We can maybe get the righties and then get him out now, and now have a viable candidate because Smith's doing a good job, and now Ben Frith's doing a good job. And Ben started dropping down around the Arkansas Little Rock series, really on that practice night. Him and I were in the bullpen, and we just started working on dropping down and trying to do something to make his stuff better. And you know, anytime you drop down, you cut the ball in half. You saw what it did to South Alabama. I mean, they saw the ball good all weekend off a lot of different arms, but they didn't see the ball good off him. And when you drop down, you know, the ball cuts in half. If you keep it down, the hitter has two choices. He just sees the top part, so he can roll it, or he can drop and try to lift it, and either one of them is in the pitcher's favor. And he did a good job of locating. He's getting better at throwing his breaking ball from underneath also, to where he's not just fastball, and then he can mix now and come back over the top and underneath. So he's a huge viable candidate for us now, and we've been using him a little bit along the way, sparingly, as he was trying to get this thing homed in, because it's not an easy thing to do to start dropping down and all of a sudden command the strike zone with it. But he's done a great job of doing that. So that just gives us another added person out of the bullpen, or if we need to start him, we can start him.
How important is the whole seeding thing when you do scoreboard watching, or is it just whatever happens?
No, because I've always been one that believes this, that if you're going to be a champion, you got to beat anybody. If you really utter the words Omaha, how can you sit around and hope you get an easy regional? I mean, what a fool. So I've never really, I don't scoreboard watch hardly ever. I don't even know what the scores were this weekend from some of the teams. I mean, I really don't care. My focus is always on us. I think it's us that'll cause us to lose the game. I think it was our inability this weekend to not get off the field with 2 outs. And I always concentrate on what we have to do. So to we got to finish strong this weekend, and then get into the tournament. No matter what our seeding is, no matter what your seeding is, to win the tournament, you really need to beat anybody you face. Is there some teams that you might want to stay away from sometimes because of matchups? Yeah, but realistically, we've got to beat everybody if we want to be a champion. And this weekend, you know, we didn't get the job done against South Al. They were better than we were 2 out of 3 times. But we're gaining experience. Again, they had, I think, 7 seniors in their lineup as hitters. And we graduated 2 seniors, 2 pitchers. So we're gaining experience. I think we had to go through what we needed to go through this weekend to continue to gain experience. Hopefully we can use this experience as we move on. I think it's so critical to get into the conference tournament. We're hosting it now, and then critical to get beyond it, where Mike and them are with some of their younger girls, because I truly believe this, the more you get to the regionals and season your players, the better you are each year after that. We've had a break in service. None of these guys have been to a regional and know what that's about. So we're constantly growing and learning with this team, and not only having 2 seniors. I think everything we gained from this weekend and on into this weekend and into the tournament and hopefully beyond the tournament is just a huge plus for this team.
Tony, you kind of answered my next question, going back to what Tim had talked about originally. A gut loss Saturday, first game yesterday. When you do know right, they're dinking and donking, and then they get 6 runs in the top of the first. It's the kind of game that you guys could lay down. You've seen them come back during the year, but never like this.
We talked about this one after the game, and Matt said that this, you know, he's been coaching a long time, and this one was kind of pretty special because you'd been worn down already. You got sent home because of the rain, and then of course the rain clears and we could have played. So then the next day you wait all day and you go out, we literally give them the game away towards the end of the game. Then you get, you know, nickel and dime throughout the whole game, and, you know, they almost, you know, gutted us and bled us to death, and then all of a sudden, you know, they cut us again on the first inning in game 2. You're right, we could have quit, they could have quit, but this, you know, we really worked a lot this fall on stuff like that and trying to come back and working on coming back, and they just did a great job. And I think, again, the epitome of this whole thing, I think, is when the pitchers pitch without the hitters under duress. I know we put them under some duress early in the first inning, but after we caught back up again, a guy got out there, good momentum, good rhythm, and he got us off the field with 2 outs. And I really think if we just get off the field with 2 outs, we win 2 out of 3 against a very good baseball team, because we hit enough off good pitching. I mean, opening night, we face our number 1, you know, we get a 6-run inning. Now, we didn't build on it, you know, getting at least 1 here, 1 there, maybe some tackle-on runs that have helped us, but we did chase somebody, and then we chased almost everybody they kept running into there on Sunday in game 2. So, you know, I thought we did a great job in being able to win 2 out of 3. I just think the whole thing was not being able to get off the field with 2 outs, and I think Ben did a real good job of that. And so it was special. It was good to see that building their confidence and knowing that they can come back, and knowing that you have somebody that's in that dugout that's not going to quit, because that's important.
Tony, it hadn't happened very much, but your team's been in a situation a couple of times that Monroe's in this week, that you don't really have the conference tournament, you don't have a future for the rest of the season. How do you approach that type of situation?
Well, you know, it's you got to be careful with it a little bit. I think you have to kind of stay focusing on you and making sure that you're as prepared as you can be, which we will. I think we can score some runs in that ballpark. You know, the ball does travel a little bit in there, so I like that for our hitters. I think the big key with it is that, you know, they're gonna try to make some pushes. You got some seniors in there that it's it for them, so there'll be some pushing in there. What you got to do, I think, is hold off their push, and try to be able to play good, sound baseball and try to get on top of them and just make them expend a lot of energy to try to win. You throw the ball over the place, you know, make stupid plays, don't show up, and you let them get on top of you, or you let a team score some easy runs, and then when they get their couple that they're normally going to get, because they're using a $300 bat and they do have scholarships, so they're going to get a couple along the way. Now it's tack-on runs. So, you know, everybody's got to get in there and play to win, and don't underestimate your opponent, because when you do that, you're always going to get in trouble, no matter what. You can't do it. You got to go in there and understand the big picture, and focus on just trying to be better than them 1 pitch at a time, instead of, you know, listening to what people say, well, because their record, you should sweep, and you should do this, you should do that. That's where all the trouble comes in. You really have to focus on really playing the game of baseball, being better than them 1 pitch at a time, and just make them expend energy. I mean, Wine's good. He can beat anybody in the league. So, you know, you got a good arm, and they're playing people close right now. They're swinging the bat a little bit better than they were earlier in the year, and they're at home. And then some of these kids, last time that they'll take the baseball field. So I know that's a long answer, but the biggest one that we try to tell them is only a fool underestimates his opponent.
You said no scoreboard watching for other games, but how nice would it be for you to look up at your scoreboard, like actually know what's happening in your own game?
That'll be good. That'll be good. We appreciate, you know, Russo Exploration stepping up for us and being able to donate the funds that it took to get that board up. We really appreciate what they've done for our program, not just this year for the school board, but from now to late Mr. Sammy Russo and Stable Drill, and now Russo Exploration, and all of what they've done for our baseball programs. It's been phenomenal. It's one of the things that's kept me here is people like them, companies like them that help us keep developing what we want to do, what's important to us, because this place is important to us, but it does need outside funding And that's the greatest thing I think about this community. I remember when I accepted the position here the night before, me and Yvette Gerard stayed together for almost 6 hours that night and trying to decide whether to come here or not. The one thing that resonates with me still today that she told me is that, you know, you might not have all the funding, but you got great funding from the surrounding area. The people here are phenomenal. And that's, I think that's been the backbone of this whole program and this whole university, and we're fortunate to be in this area. There's a lot of the universities with all the cuts to higher education right now in the state of Louisiana that because of their surroundings, there might not be as